Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Successful Women's Mindset Book Launch Summit. My name is Galit Ventura-Rozen, and as always, one of my favorite things to do is spotlight amazing female entrepreneurs from around the world. Today, I am so excited to have Kristen White with us. Welcome, Kristen.
Thank you, Galit.
It's been such a fun journey for Kristen and I just have to plug that in. We met a few years ago when I interviewed her and chose her because I wanted her to be part of one of my summits. Gosh, it's almost been 2 years. And since then, we've just built the most fabulous collaboration, relationship, mentoring relationship. She's been a mentor of mine. And it's just been so much fun for us to connect and just promote each other and share each other's experiences with each other. So this is going to be a really fun interview for us. So thank you for being here. And Kristen, tell everybody where you live.
So I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I'm sorry, my cats are joining our interview today.
We're just gonna send that to the cat loving people.
Exactly.
So she's in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and it's been really fun because I've been interviewing women from all over the United States as well as I think I have 3 countries covered now. Later today, I'm actually interviewing a woman from the UK, which is fabulous. So it's just been fun to be able to use the technology to spotlight entrepreneurial women. And what's neat for me is that we're just gonna have fun with it, Kristen, bring her in. What's been really fun for me is so many different cultures, so many different backgrounds, but the Successful Women's Mindset has been this common ground for everyone. So before we talk about that, let's go ahead and tell everyone a little bit about you, Kristen. Kristen is an award-winning journalist, documentary filmmaker, and entrepreneurial media expert. Her media credits include the award-winning film, I know I'm going to say this wrong, is it
Shamanic Trekker?
Shamanic?
Yeah, Shamanic Trekker.
Yes. Shamanic Trekker, Journey to the Source, and Mandela, a new series featuring best-selling authors in spirituality and wellness. Both are available on Amazon Prime. She's the CEO of White Media Agency and provides online business marketing and development for entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, life coaches, and businesses in the wellness and personal development marketplace. So there we go, a little information about Kristen. So one of the first things I love asking each woman that I've interviewed in the summit is, what does the Successful Woman's Mindset mean to you? When you hear those words.
And I love this question, and I love the book that you've written. And I think that for me, so much of the Successful Women's Mindset lies within loving and honoring yourself, and making a commitment to develop your gifts and to follow your inspiration wherever that takes you, and to recognize that each of us have intuition within us that will guide us on whatever that path needs to be. This is what's really guided me my entire life. It's taken me through a career in TV news. It's helped me become a filmmaker and a television producer. And so I think for me, the biggest part of the Successful Woman's Mindset is beyond the mind. It's that intuition in the heart that really shows you the way above all else.
Yes, really almost tuning in. I use the phrase in my book, going within, a few times. And it's sometimes I have to explain that because not everyone, what do you mean I have to go? I had this one client say, what do you mean I have to go within? So when we talk about going within, we really talk about what Kristen's saying, where as a woman, you want to take a step back and look at yourself and know yourself. Kristen and I were joking a little bit before we got on about the cats in the background or the braid, which I absolutely love. And I said, I don't know what else to be but myself at this point.
Right.
And Kristen agreed, where we've worked so hard to get to this place in our life where we can be comfortable with who we are. And it comes across with the cats in the background and everything. You can see Kristen is comfortable and I'm comfortable. We're just going with it. They want to be in the video, obviously, so we might as well let them, right?
They live here, so they'd be scratching at the door to my office if I didn't let them.
It's much quieter having them in the back in the video. We're adding a little bit of atmosphere to the video. So I love your definition of the Successful Woman's Mindset. I love the word, the one that stuck out the most to me was honor yourself. Mm-hmm. I think as women, we're not good at that.
And there's another word inside that as well, Galit, and that is to listen.
Yes.
right? I mean, we have this inner voice that is here to inform us, and it's offering dialogue. It doesn't necessarily shout at you. A lot of times it's very subtle, it's gentle, it's a whisper, but it's persistent, right?
Yes.
It's persistent. And so if we don't pay attention to it and honor and listen, for me, intuition is just deeper listening. It's cutting through all the noise and saying, what is spirit? What is my spirit really trying to tell me here? And every time I listen to it and then have the courage, this is step 2, have the courage to take the leap of faith to follow the guidance that I'm receiving. Well, that's when the magic happens. And it's without fail. Now I trust it. It's been going on now for me, for decades now. So when I kind of start listening and I think, there's something here, what do I need to pay attention to? And then I follow the guidance. Like that's how I ended up moving to Santa Fe, almost 3 years ago from St. Louis, Missouri. We were out here filming Shamanic Trekker, the film. And I said to my husband, I'm like, let's look at houses. And then we bought one. He's like, what are you doing? I said, I don't know. I just have a feeling. I walked inside. I'm like, it's my house. Like, yes, we're going to live here. And ever since we moved, it's been incredible for my kids, for me, for him. Like, it's just amazing. So I don't care if it's a move, a relationship, a business opportunity. The more you strengthen that muscle, that conversation with yourself, that listening to your intuition, the more you will literally be led to what you need to do next. And I think that ties into this successful woman's mindset, is that we actually don't need to develop this whole mindset. We already know the mindset of what needs to happen for us.
Yes, and I think it's reminders.
Yes.
The reason that it was so important for me to write this book with these 21 characteristics is a lot of people might have that voice, but they're not listening to it and they're shooing it away because they're uncomfortable with the unknown. So there's a chapter called She Gets Uncomfortable with the Unknown. It was so important to me to say, hey, look, Kristen has written so many books and she knows this, that we only write what we've learned. We've only write what we've lived. And I've lived this world where there were times where I was not listening to the voice in my head telling me because I was scared or fearful. And there's a place where anybody watching, it doesn't matter if you're female or male. I can't tell you how many men have already bought my book. It's awesome. It's because these characteristics are about going within, listening to what Kristen said. I've also, like you, Kristen, done the work to really be with myself. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it isn't, because there are things sometimes I don't want to listen to, but they are persistent. I call it my subconscious. It doesn't go away. But I love when you get so in alignment with it and trust yourself that it really is guiding you. I always know what my next step is in my business, because it's telling me, okay, Galit, next it's corporate, next it's the book, next it's another, whatever it is. And I know that you've used that process to, in yourself, find the success that you have, which is quite wide.
Well, you and I have a lot in common. I mean, I think that's what has always brought us together. You're very intuitive, a deeply spiritual businesswoman. And I think that you're right. Sometimes we just need to be reminded that that's the truth for all of us. It's available for all of us. The truth is that we are spiritual beings. And so when we forget that or we get off track, if we just take a moment, settle in, take a deep breath, remind ourselves of this absolute truth, then we can very quickly get back into alignment again.
Yes. And that feeling of knowing what's next and being, going within and knowing what works for you is the same thing. It works the same way when you don't. When something feels off, when something isn't right, when you shouldn't make this decision, absolutely, it tells you, it screams at you.
That's when it shouts.
Yeah. And so I talk a little bit in the book about the difference between the red flags versus the fear and how to become attuned to the difference. So I always use the example, Kristen, of walking down a dark alley. If your intuition or your gut is telling you this is not a good idea, that's the red flag. But if something is telling you not to say yes to that opportunity, is it really a red flag or is it fear? and resistance that you're trying to keep yourself comfortable. And you and I know, because we both live lives where every day we're facing something uncomfortable, nothing happens there. Nothing grows there when you stay in that comfortable space. Have you experienced that?
Well, I think that a long time ago, I learned that you have to do what you're afraid of first. So
Yes.
my background is TV news, right? And I'm an introvert. Okay, so I have taught myself over the years to be, a news presenter. And I remember when I had to do my first live shot, I was down in West Palm Beach, Florida, for the CBS affiliate, and it's a house fire. I'm hot in the middle of the summer, and I'm doing this live shot, and I am so nervous, and I thought, it doesn't matter. This is the career that I'm in. I just have to push through it. And, for the first several months that I was in TV, I was frightened. I just was nervous about it. But it's just like anything, you get better, you acquire skills, you have to allow yourself to be a beginner, so I think whether it's whatever it is in your life, for me, it was TV news. And then it was when I did my first radio show, and, that fear, anytime you're performing in some way, stepping on a stage, you feel uncomfortable. And I think
because it's unfamiliar.
That's right.
But then it becomes familiar once you let it and you try it.
You'll never grow if you always stop just simply because there's this sensation of fear.
Yes.
Right. So I, in my life, have just made peace with fear.
Yes, me too. But again, the right fear.
A little bit of stressed out. My neck might get a little red.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I remember you
today or something. But
yeah.
I've just made peace with fear. And then now if I'm frightened about it, I think, oh, well, there's my sign. I have to do that first, because that's what I'm nervous about, or that's what I don't want to do. So it's kind of like I've made this little negotiation. Well, I'm just going to do that first, because then the rest will be easy. This is this part that's a little bit uncomfortable. But, in the end, you have to try something new, and then always you'll build upon that experience, and you will evolve, and then you will develop eventually a level of expertise in whatever you pursue, if you just allow yourself to learn. Right?
Especially if you want to. So many people stop themselves from doing something new, or when they want it. Remember, this is about what you want.
Right.
This is about, so Kristen was listening to herself in a sense, and it's saying, okay, you've got this opportunity that's showing up to be a TV journalist. Are you really going to say no? And then of course you checked yourself. Is this something I want to do? Well, yeah, you're not going to do something you don't want to. And then you
applying too, so I have a master's degree in journalism. So I had 60.
So you wanted to do it. It was just
broke into it. And then I was like, well, I'm here. I guess I raised
better do this.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Figuring out how is not so difficult. Well, it's always out there for you. And I always say, if you don't know the how, there's someone that knows how to show you. So within yourself, Kristen, how do you feel like you embody the successful woman's mindset? And how do you work with your clients and through your books and your programs to show them how to embody the successful woman's mindset?
I think that's such a great question, Galit. And one of the things that I would put out there, at least for myself, and how I personally embody the successful women's mindset is, my entire life, I have been a messenger, right? I've worked in television news. I was part of a very successful podcast on Vivid Life Radio, created 2 TV shows, a documentary film. I turned my book, Mystic in a Minivan, into a one-woman show. And right now it's in the Southern California Screenplay Competition for a TV series. So
Wow.
I've done about every kind of messenger thing you could possibly do. And so now for me, it's all about helping others become a more powerful messenger, and I talk about this a lot in my book, Voice, how to share your message, your products, and your business with the world. And this is really what I'm all about. This is where I found all of my success, combining the quest for authentic voice and, using your intuition to figure out what that message is, or using my intuition sometimes too, to help someone figure out what that message is. But, if I look back over my entire life, there really has been, a focus, a concentration in this area. So I would say I'm a specialist in helping you find your voice. And I think that, when we decide to just dig deep into this and say, okay, this is what I want to do with my legacy. One of the things that I believe is this universal law of substitution. And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of negativity that's going on. It's been around for a while in mainstream media, in mainstream communications. Well, we can't deny that exists. We can't say, oh, this doesn't exist, it's simply going to go away. The only way that we can improve it is through the universal law of substitution. We introduce something of a higher frequency, a message of a higher quality. So if enough people are out there with, a voice of positive change and sharing their messages from programs like the one you're doing, books like what you've written, television appearances, speaking from a stage, eventually the positive message has a more powerful vibration and the negative messages will become fewer and fewer. Now, I know this may sound a little, optimistic. Some people might say you're crazy, but in my heart, in my intuitive self, I know this to be true. And so that's what I'm working on. Kind of like the person that goes to the beach with a lot of garbage and you just pick up one can at a time. And then other people join in and eventually the beach is clean. So I view this about messages and using your voice, and that eventually people are going to be listening more to the positive things that are out there and the possibilities that are available.
And we've seen enough in our lifetime and also before our lifetime through history that it doesn't always take more than one person at a time.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that give up and say, well, what change can I cause or what impact can I make? Look, if you need motivation, look up the people that have made such an impact and they were just one person. And I think,
story.
Yes.
I write about this in the book. You're already an expert in your life's purpose. So if you're looking for where your expertise is, what have you lived?
Yes.
What is your reality resume? We just did a workshop over the weekend, turn your life story into a TED Talk. And this is a masterclass that I teach, to help my clients who are speaking on stage. And it's just going through your different stories and then finding which one has energy for you, which one has some wisdom that you could actually teach others. And, being an expert a lot of times is just recognizing that your journey, that your life may become a map for somebody else who was lost. Yes. So once you claim that understanding, I think a whole world opens up to you.
Yes, for sure. For sure. I talk a lot about that in the book. I have a chapter called She Knows Her Value. And a lot of what you're talking about, finding your purpose, I have special activities in there specifically stating how to find your purpose, how to find your passion. And sometimes that changes for us. As women, we are constantly changing. And I know that my purpose and passion, even though the base stays similar, a lot of it continues to change with the projects or the places that I want to make an impact. So I love, love, love that about you. Would you tell everybody, I know you're going to be offering a free gift today. What are you going to be offering everyone?
Well, I wanted to make sure that everybody has a copy of my Amazon #1 best-selling book, Voice, How to Share Your Message, Your Products, Your Business with the World. And then I've also created 6 training videos that will help you find out if you're in the right niche, clarify your message, understand how to organize a message. There's a lot of great little tidbits in there that will just help you be more clear. So the next time you're out there and someone says, hey, what do you do? You're going to say, I've got this. I've practiced this. I know how to put this together.
Great. Wonderful. And I know that they can go to your website to get that, as well as we'll put the link below, or if you're watching this in replay, you'll have it as well through the email.
It's at the top actually of my Facebook page, Kristen Media. So it's pinned to the top, or Rock the Stage, which is the speakers program. It's right there. Yeah.
Great. And they can also go to your website. What is your website, Kristen?
White Media Agency.
Perfect. And if you want to get a hold of Kristen to learn more about her programs and work with her, she's all over social media. That's her specialty to be. And you can get a hold of her. Just go ahead and find her through any of the social media.
Message me. That's easy.
Yeah, we're also easily accessible. And the reason we are is because we want to make such an impact on the world and be able to help those that are searching out the how, which is a big reason why people don't do things, is because they know they want something and then they stop because they don't know the how. There's lots of people that know how.
Right.
That's not a problem.
And you figure it out. You only need to know like little bits of the how, just a little bit of the how, and then move into that part. And then it, you know, there's more clues. It reveals itself. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you for joining me again. It's so much fun. We go back and forth and interviewing each other in different aspects of our businesses. I appreciate you. I appreciate our connection. And I appreciate everybody watching. Thank you so much. My name is Galit Ventura-Rozen. If you're interested in learning more about the book, you can go ahead and visit thesuccessfulwomensmindset.com, as well as all the programs that I offer as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Galit. Congratulations on everything, and love you. Thank you.
Love you too. Thank you.